Ne-am întors. Mr. Ambassador, we were talking earlier about borders, we were talking about past and so on. Now, I wanted to speak to you about more about Croatia, but I can't stop myself to ask another question coming from one of your answers. It struck me. On the moment, I didn't react it. But now I want to ask you this, I mean, to detail a little bit, because it's very interesting. You said that in 1980s, you've read an analysis of CIA saying that...
Just small article in the Croatian media, yeah.
Please, the people will understand that you are not a CIA agent and you read a report from CIA. No, it was an article published based on a CIA analysis. It is unbelievable because the theory of the conspiracy theories are surrounding us, and I want to clarify this because people will remain with another impression. When you said that, do you believe that the breaking up of the Yugoslavia was planned, or it was, when you speak about the analysis, or it was just they were making an analysis of the realities which were about to happen?
I would say that it's a matter of the consequences of the global changings, and you know, even when I'm thinking about this problem and talking about very often with our Czech and Slovak friends, and they're sometimes teasing me, look at how we so-called divorced. And then I answer to them, yes, you divorce in a nice way, but you have a bad experience of former Yugoslavia, how not to do that.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
you were very successful in managing divorce of the former Czechoslovak Republic in a way that it was agreed and
without war and without
unfortunately now I can just be sorry because there was no two persons like former President Havel and former President Mečiar to do that in a soft way, but because unfortunately when you mention, I'm not a fan of some conspiracy theories.
No.
By the way, when I spoke about this to my father, he said, "Come on, you will have these articles every year." So it's a kind. You were right, but it was somehow I remember that. But at the end, it was it was the end of the communism. It was the end of the bipolarity system. It was there were so many changes, and former Yugoslavia cannot swallow all these changes. And you have so many differences in this country. And unfortunately, this, as I told you once, this main cohesion factor, Tito, with his image outside of the country, with his non-aligned movement, and and the Communist Party, which was strong, not so strong. There was not so, how to say, so tough secret service. How in this country you know exact line which you shouldn't cross. So Tito Party, if you do not touch these two holy things, you can survive.
It was more freedom than here.
And so
you could go abroad, you could travel.
Yes, that was very interesting that Tito decided to allow people to go abroad early 60s. So the fact that we start to travel, and I remember even a kid traveling from former Yugoslavia to Austria to Italy for me was. So, but at the end, it was not possible to keep all those 6 countries together with different idea of possible common country. And unfortunately, it collapsed in a way that it was unfortunately bad example how not to do that for the others.
Well, it is also for us and for you and for everybody. That's why we are using this time, even though it's not easy for you to share with us these experiences.
No, why not?
Just to end with this story, you didn't tell us what was the argument of that article, because I'm very interested. Why CIA believed through that article that will collapse?
I really can't remember details, but probably, and then
the diversity, or
it was today when you look at all these countries and you you can ask yourself what is common denominator between not Serbia, Croatia, but for example Slovenia and Kosovo. And it was so many differences. You know, so it was a kind of, even concerning the development, inside development, for example, economic development of Slovenia or Montenegro or Croatia, or you know. So it was a kind of the digest of the problem of those time, find it in one country.
I understand.
So unfortunately, it was very difficult. It was not possible to agree among the leaders to find a solution, and then everybody, all of those countries, leaders of all those countries, tried to find their own model.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And then
we will. We just want to clarify for the people that you know what was with this article, because it remains in your mind, and I understand you. You read it when long time ago. And of course it remains there, because you wonder, okay, how would those people know? Well, they were from outside looking, and you are describing now as you wouldn't be a Croatian. Yeah. You describe the situation so objectively, saying,
trying, yes.
No, I mean, with the attitude of a person which is far from the events.
Yeah.
Being in the middle, you couldn't understand why would you break up, or I don't know. But basically it was predictable that this would happen. Anyway, Mr. Ambassador, let's now go to a little bit more positive approach, and let's speak about Croatia. Tell the viewers. I mean, I visited the islands. I visited your capital. It's a wonderful country. I have to tell you something. Even though it was far before you entered the EU, the prices were quite high, to be honest. At least on the
European
coast.
prices.
On the coast was well, are two possibilities. Either I was because at that time I was 20 something. I was not having too much money, or the prices were a little bit too high. And but besides that, I found wonderful places there. I mean, tell us a little bit where people should go, why, what to visit.
Okay, but let's step back with your experience. And when you mentioned this, it's a fact that, and I'm sorry because of that, and that's part of my job. And my dear friend Cosmin Dinescu, who is a Romanian ambassador to Zagreb, to make kind of the advertising of our country, because it's a fact that we are almost neighbors, but we do not know as much as we should and could know each other. By the way, 60,000 Romanians are every year on the Croatian coast.
Wow.
Comparing with the other countries, it's not a huge number, but for example, I'm from the south part of the Croatian coast peninsula, Pelješac, close to Dubrovnik region, and I find few families.
Dubrovnik is wonderful.
Yeah, a few families from Romania coming every year there, and it's reachable by the car. You reach a highway in Serbia, and then you can drive through the highways directly to the Croatian coast. It's really beautiful coast.
It is. I am my witness.
When to say, or when to make a conclusion what Croatia brings to the European Union, I would say this beautiful coast. That's something really beautiful, and something that is really, I would say it's a part now of the European coast, and it's very reachable from the middle of the Europe. You are on a coast with de facto hot sea in a few hours by a car. So it's not so far from Romania too. So what you have a fantastic coast. You have so many, I mentioned Dubrovnik, so many towns like Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is the most popular one, but you have a Split, Zadar, even smaller towns. You can still in the middle of the summer find small beach in which you will be alone. I'm not sure that you can find
really alone.
Yeah, so you can find it. So, and it's how to say, it's a you have a good weather, you have a nice people, you will be warm accepted there, and so many culture, historical heritage you can find there. You can really spend a fantastic vacation there, and I'm not agree with you that it's expensive because
no, I mean this is what I thought when I was 20. So maybe in my mind the prices were different than I see them now. But I believe I was just joking with that.
No, but of course, I mean, if you are going to buy a coffee in the middle of on a main street of the ancient Dubrovnik, definitely you are paying you will pay a price for the coffee like you are drinking coffee on a San Marco square in Venice. But you can find so many nice places and you can have a nice rest, especially for the families with the young kids. I'm recommending that.
Yes, I do. I do remember the nice places, also the nice islands. An island that I walk in 1 hour, 2 hours, 2 hours maximum. I could walk around the island, and the monasteries and the churches there, the citadels.
You're talking about 1,244 islands.
Yes.
Exact number.
I visited one.
I know, of course. So I'm just trying to explain to
that are many others.
There's so many places to see.
Yes, and that's why I wanted you to share with the Romanians, because tell us a little bit more about Croatia. I don't think it's not only the sea. Walking in Croatia at that time, now it's, I believe, more beautiful. I could see a very beautiful country. You have the mountains, you have the sea, you have. Okay, I'm a patriot. I believe that Romania is the most beautiful in the world, but still, or even more patriotic, I believe Oltenia is the most beautiful region in the world. But still, besides the sea, are many other places to visit. Tell us where and why.
Look,
for example, historical places.
Yeah, there is a kind of the dichotomy in Croatia. What you have probably in your country belonging to the two regions, I would say. For example, you are belonging to the Black Sea region.
Yes.
And also you are belonging to the Middle Europe region. So it's the same story with us. We have one part of the Croatian country which is pure Mediterranean culture, climate, and you have a north part which is probably more familiar for you. It's a part of the former Austro-Hungarian Empire, and you will see, like you are in the Middle Europe, you will see classical towns like Zagreb, Varaždin, when you are probably similar with some towns in your country which was a part of the former Austro-Hungarian Empire. So you will, so you will see, how to say, differences. Differences not just concerning the you have values, mountains, but you will find the different cultures, different temperaments, different cuisines. So it's really worth it to go there and to see how it looks, and it's and everything is not so far.
Yes.
You can, in a few hundred kilometers, for example, if you're traveling by car to the coast, you can, in a 200 kilometers, pass through the three different area. You can find a Velebit mountain. After that, you cross a tunnel, and you will see completely different climate. And also, it's, how to say, this is interesting because on a relatively small territory, you will find a lot of differences. Not to mention also our part of the Danube. What are you also sharing? There is on eastern part of Croatia where there is around less than 100 kilometers of the Danube shore on the border with Serbia, which is very interesting. Also, more familiar for people from your country. So,
how is the relation with Hungary now?
With Hungary.
Another neighbor of yours.
With the Hungary, it's how to say, we have ups and downs, but basically the relations with the Hungary, no matter who is in the power on the both countries, are good, because we will never forget two very important moments in our history. One is when we have war for liberation of the country, we were very much helped by the Hungary. And the second one, which is also very important for us, is when we were concluding and finishing negotiations with the European Union, we have a technical, political, friendly help coming from Hungary. So despite the fact that sometimes we have some problems, for example, with the... But it's, at the end, it is good relations, and somehow you can feel the pulse of the relations between countries and the nations through the... We have a few 100,000 of Hungarians every year on the Croatian coast. So it's, you know, it's a traditionally good relations we are respecting. Of course, there is a lot of articles today about different approaches to the to the migration crisis. But you know, every country tried to find their own idea and
yes,
solution.
You are speaking about the fences.
Yeah, I told you that we have a different approach, and it's explainable why we have a different approach. Hungary has a different approach. We, as a first neighbor, we respect.
Yes, of course.
Their decisions and what to say, level of the trade, level of the exchange of the bilateral visits and meetings are very often and regular, so it's okay.
Mr. Ambassador, we still have 4 minutes to go because the time passes very fast in this talk show, and when we discuss about the diversity of things, and we have many others to discuss, but I would like to touch one subject. You are a new member. How are the Croatians in your polls with regard to the EU? Do you have, let's say, Euroscepticals? And what in what percentage are they? Because this is important for the future of the EU. Of course, we are interested very much in what is happening in Germany, even there, unbelievably, but the Eurosceptical are rising. But what is happening in this, the newest member, or the new member of the EU?
Actually, experience with the other countries, what I was following, it's then immediately after you enters in EU, expectation of the membership of the EU are so huge that you are relatively very fast disappointed with the fact that you expect much than you can achieve. And one of the problems I tell you from in the beginning of this discussion, because you, when you enter in EU, you have a still mode talking about European Union as them. So first you have to be aware that you are in and that you have to talk about we.
Yes, exactly.
But at the end, there is no classical Euroscepticism in a way that, no, we shouldn't enter in European Union.
Eurosceptical parties?
No.
No, in the
no,
parliament?
Because it was a, how to say, we have a political consensus. But it's a kind of the national consensus, and that it's even... I wouldn't say that it was a kind of the consequences of the dissolution of the Yugoslavia, or bluntly to say, escaped from the Balkans. No.
You are very blunt, I understand.
It's not a case like this, because it's simply, we understand that we believe to this union because we share the common values, and for us everything what is European Union offering, and it's acceptable in the whole. So Euroscepticism in a classical way, it's not. We can discuss about migration. You will always have a...
Of course, that's a different story.
But it's not a story about...
Yes.
It's a completely to make a distinction. But concerning the European Union, and even and NATO too, as a security frame.
Of course, yes.
No problem.
There is no against opinion.
No.
Mr. Ambassador, we have 2 minutes more, and I want to address your last question, a very tough one. What kind of Romanian food do you like?
You can see on me. Actually, you know, I'm still exploring restaurants.
You are still exploring restaurants?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'll tell you that first time when I visited Romania, I was in a delegation of the foreign minister, Jan Djokovic, and we went in one restaurant, and we was eating bear meat.
Yes.
Yes, and I was surprised that this is possible to eat.
We still have bears.
Yeah, of course I know, but it's a kind of the pretty similar cuisine what we have it on the northern part of the Croatia. So I'm enjoying everything. And you are basing your food on the meat.
You are a diplomat now. Tell me something you really like.
what to say? I like this kind of the for example, one speciality. What I find only here is a kind of the pate of the beans. There is a special name for that. I don't know how you call it, but it's you put it on a toast and it's just
one of the beans.
Yeah, that's just one of the. I cannot catch the.
Okay, I don't. Me neither. I don't know exactly which one is
a name for that, and then you have a special donuts. I like sweet.
Okay, well, me too. It's a problem.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that you like the Romanian food. And what about the regions? I'm sorry. Where have you been and what places did you like here?
Yeah. Look, of course, when I arrive here, I visit first Banat, and I visit a Croatian minority in Šica, Karaševo, and it was very interesting for me because I passed almost half a country to reach them. Then I have a visit of my kids with the idea to see, of course, building of the parliament and castles of Count Dracula.
Of course.
So, but I visit, of course.
Did you found him?
Sorry?
Did you found him?
It's to keep expectation that one day we will find the ghost of Count. But it was fantastic castle. This Bran for me was interesting, yes. And Brasov, and of course I made a mistake. I entered in my car and I pressed the button on GPS from Ploiești. I said Pitești, so we were traveling a bit around. But I saw this fantastic.
Well, you had the chance to see more.
Yes, but it was fantastic. I was traveling from this close to these heights before the snow. Okay. It was really beautiful for somebody who is from the coast to see these mountains. It was really fantastic and amazing, and I saw these ski resorts, what you have it, so you have a beautiful country, and I just tackle. And when I arrived here, all ambassadors told me, you have to travel, you have to see the country. It's a really beautiful country.
Mr. Ambassador, I would suggest you to continue with their advice, and I give you another advice. Please, go and visit also Oltenia. It's very beautiful. We don't have the mountains, we don't have the ski resorts, but it's really beautiful. Not that it's my region, but it's really beautiful. You know, all the ambassadors speaking about Transylvania, Banat, Brasov, whatever. You know, Delta, you know, the Danube Delta, or the sea. Oltenia is also very beautiful.
But let me tell you, you are doing the same things what I did. I advertised my part of the Croatian coast, Dubrovnik, Peninsula, Pelješac.
Yes,
same you are doing.
I saw that. And it's another town I visited in your country, but I will not say the name on TV because it means something in Romanian which is not very nice.
I know. That's the first thing what tell me. Don't mention this name of this town.
It's a beautiful town, but the name is not okay to be told.
They told me.
Mr. Ambassador was a very nice, interesting, intelligent, casual discussion. I loved the discussion with you. I hope you to come again to speak, because I like this enthusiasm of a new member coming in the EU, and with all the problems to give also positive messages, not only negative messages regarding the future of your country, the future of the European Union, the future of us, and so on. So again, thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for being here. It was a pleasure. I liked it very much. And now I will say goodbye to my viewers. Vă mulțumesc foarte mult pentru faptul că ne-ați urmărit. Am fost alături de ambasadorul Croației. Ne vedem cu un alt ambasador săptămâna viitoare și nu uitați, dragi telespectatori, că aveți un aliat în toate fără de legile din țara aceasta în coaliția noastră. O seară bună, la revedere!
Emisiune realizată cu sprijinul Camerei de Comerț și Industrie a României.